It is a pleasure to be there with you on the 6:15. I'm Kejang Henry at Timby. We begin with the headlines of our Friday's edition. Vote counting for the October 12 presidential election begins today after the Constitutional Council gave the green light to Emile Esombe and a 24-member team to begin the final counting of votes. They have 5 days to complete the process before forwarding the results to the Constitutional Council. And tensions are rising within the Kribiwan Municipal Council as unpaid salaries and growing social debt have pushed workers to the brink of a strike. And as School Orientation Week wraps up in the littoral region, concern is growing over Cameroon's shortage of school guidance counselors, especially for students with special needs. Top stories. Thanks and welcome back. You can check us on our respective platforms on Canal International for consultation and continuity of news. We begin from Yaoundé, where the Constitutional Council has given the green light to Emile Esombe and a 24-member team to begin the final vote counting from the October 12 presidential election, comprising of representatives from the Constitutional Council, the Supreme Court, ELECAM, the administration, and all the 12 political parties that participated at the polls. The team will actually work from reports and appended documents submitted by the Divisional Supervisory Commissions. They have up to 5 days to complete the process before forwarding the results to the Constitutional Council. Beatrice Ngamo reports from Yaoundé.
Members of the National Commission for the Final Counting of Votes have begun duty this Friday. A team of 23 out of 25 designated members, as the CGU and UMS parties were not present. Occasion for the Commission Chairman Emile Esombe to present his team of mixed characters, starting from himself, a member of the Constitutional Council, judges from the judicial sector, the administration, Elections Cameroon, and representatives from all 12 political parties who took part in the October 12 presidential race. He then delves into what their duty entails, essentially the general counting of votes, which consists of verifying the records, correcting any clerical material errors in the process, and presenting the report to the Divisional Supervisory Commission. It was clearly reiterated that the Commission of the distribution of the records. The only official report that the Commission will provide to its signatory members is the one that concludes its own work, excluding any other documents. Installing the members this Friday, the President of the Constitutional Council, Clément Atangana, passed on this word of duty.
Au moment où vous allez commencer votre mission,
as you embark on your mission, I urge you to be men and women of duty. Know that you are first and foremost invested with a mission of general interest before being representatives of your respective administration and political parties. A copy of their report at the end of the day shall be given to each signatory member. A copy with appended documents shall be forwarded within 5 days to the Constitutional Council. This day does mark the beginning of another post-election phase, all aimed at getting the victor, the President of Cameroon.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ngamo. And after the Constitutional Council set the salvo for the vote counting, our reporter Beatrice Ngamo actually caught the reactions of some of the members of the Vote Counting Commission. Here are their reactions.
The list of all its representatives in police stations. So we are here to be sure that the results that we will have at the national level reflect what people said at the local level. So the will of the people will be our motto during this session.
We are here to work, to check the vote in general, but now we don't have power to do what law don't allow us to do.
We are counting only on the reports coming from the various divisions, and we have 58 division and division or constituency coming from abroad, especially from the 5 continents, and our duty is only to see into this report if there is coherence, if the figures are exact, eventually to correct them. We don't have the power to confirm or to annul report from the polling station. Any irregularities eventually occurs is on the competence of the Constitutional Council.
These were reactions gathered for us by our reporter Beatrice Ngamo from members of the Final Vote Counting Commission ahead of the final proclamation of the results of the 2025 October 12 presidential elections. Now we swing down south to Cliquez, and precisely in Cliquez 1, when tensions are rising within the municipality as unpaid salaries and growing debts or social debts have pushed workers at the brink of a strike. Staff are demanding an urgent intervention from the council executives to make sure they abate the situation and prevent a full-scale disruption of municipal services. D. Morin reports.
Tensions are running high at the Cliquez 1 Municipal Council as possible strike threatens to disrupt normal operations. Like the overcast skies above the council building, this Friday the mood inside remains gloomy. While employees go about their daily task, all eyes are fixed on the outcome of demands addressed to the executive. Staff at Cliquez 1 Council are demanding that the executive settle 2 months of unpaid salaries, along with the CMPS debt that has accumulated over 3 mandates, initially at 220 million francs CFA. Under the current term, the figure has now reached 719 million francs CFA. Workers say they can no longer benefit from family allowances due to this backlog. The workers' grievances have been detailed in a strike notice submitted to the mayor several days ago. Informed of the situation, the administrative authorities have stepped in seeking to ease tensions and promote dialogue among all parties. A solution will be sought for each of the clearly identified problems. This constitution aims to examine every issue case by case. Following consultations led by the Labour Inspectorate, the Mayor Cliquez 1 has pledged to reduce salary arrears in the short term. The delay in the payment of 2 months' salary arrears will be resolved before Saturday. Authorities will promise that. However, full calm is expected to return to the Cliquez 1 Council only once the commitments made are fully honoured.
Thanks, Maureen D. And we move into the schools, whereas the school orientation week wraps up in the littoral region. There are growing concern over Cameroon's shortage of school garden counselors, especially when it comes to students with special needs. And so careers, fairs, and panel discussions actually emphasized on the urgent need to strengthen career orientation and counseling services in secondary schools. Of course, this is a call that is equally coming from members of the administration. Once more, Maureen.
According to national guidelines, there should be 1 guidance counselor for every 300 students in Cameroon.
In my school, I have only 2 of them. That's why I always keep on writing to the hierarchy.
But in reality, the number of counselors is far from sufficient, laments one school head.
Because this guidance and counselor help us, even with the administrators, how to administer the school, how to handle the children, how to handle their teachers, and so on. He also help the students because to tell them what they should be in future. For example, if you are doing sciences, you can become a medical doctor, you can become an engineer.
Some schools have over 2,000 students with just one counselor, explains Jack Ekango, principal of Sodiko Bilingual High School. In the Francophone section alone, the student follow-up is extremely difficult at Rosie Michel Gonge, principal of Lokpom Bilingual High School. In response to this gap, existing counselors have developed personalized models to support students effectively.
We have a majority of them who don't know how to read. They don't know how to write very well, so it gives them the impression that they are not smart. So they come to us, and with that, we are best to help them.
The received students guide them and monitor their progress, one counselor explains. There are also specialized approaches adapted to learners with special needs. For these students, an entire week was dedicated to orientation. The closing ceremony at Cité de Palmier High School in Douala was aimed at promoting inclusive education in Cameroon.
Problems that affect their emotion, maybe with a parent or with a classmate or with the environment, the neighbors. So they come to us, even with the teachers, they come to us, and we help them in order to overcome their challenges. At times also they come to us and see us when they have difficulty in choosing their profession that they're going to do in future. They will give them a good career orientation based on their aptitude.
As part of the celebration marking the 23rd edition of National Guidance Counseling Day, special recognition and gifts were given to these dedicated men and women. The event was led by the regional delegates for secondary education in the littoral.
Thanks very much, Maureen Diand. On to this brief coming from Yaoundé. The President of Elections Cameroon, Eno Abrams Egbe, says that the electoral process from voting to this moment has been unfolding in strict compliance with the law. The chairman of the electoral board says the voting and vote counting from the over 31,000 polling units has been transparent, free and fair, without releasing any further statistics. Elekam says all the return sheets are currently on the table of the National Vote Counting Commission to finalize the process. And Elections Cameroon insists that though the body does consultation with the different stakeholders, including the administration, they remain independent and neutral. Thanks very much, Hyson Chira. And that draws the curtain for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Atembe. We thank you for being there with us and wish you a wonderful weekend. We'll be coming up, debrief de l'actualité sportive with Matthew Fangwa.